Hey guys, it's the Traveling Thimble and it's Thrifty Thursday. So I've got some really cool deals to share with you that are just inexpensive and upcycled and just kind of make sewing a little bit easier. And tonight I'm sharing a couple of projects that you don't even have to sew on to be upcycling. So I love that as well. So last summer I got some shirts from work and this is one of them, and they're my size. I mean, I found my size and everything, but they're kind of boxy looking on me. Like they're a little bit big, and they didn't have any other sizes by the time I got mine. So love the color, and I was like, what can I do to make this just a little bit more fit better? I guess for lack of a better term. So I took a different one, and I haven't had the guts to do the other one. I don't know why. That's kind of silly, but here's what I did. So I cut the neck off and cut it into a V-neck, left the sleeves the way they were because they were fine. They weren't too big. And then at the bottom, I just cut the bottom off. I kind of cropped it and then left a longer tail in the back. And then after you've washed them, or even when you just first do them, if you just pull them, they'll do that roll on you. And so I just thought this was really cool. I love wearing this shirt now. It just fits me better. And I'm going to do that with the pink one. I really kind of would like to finish out that collar, but I also just don't want to take the time. And so if you're wanting to get into just customizing some things, doing some upcycling like you have, we always have those clothing items that just don't quite fit right. And there's all kinds of things like that that you can do to them. And like for me, there's some things I'm just not going to wear them if I don't change them. So you might as well change them and then at least see if you like it. The other thing, it's another kind of an upcycle, and it's also no sewing on this. So I was part of a program at my work, and they gave us these awesome sweatshirts. And I loved the sweatshirt. The back of it's really cool. It's got like a map of the school district that I work for, and loved it. I was so excited. I got home and it didn't fit very good. It was the right size, and it wasn't too small, but it felt confining. It just didn't feel good on, and it was real bunchy around the waist. It was like too long for me. So I knew I wanted to wear it, but I was like, I'm not going to wear it the way it is. It just didn't feel comfortable. So I looked at it and I was like, well, on the front, it didn't have anything that I was going to mess up, like a graphic I was going to cut in half, since it just has this over here. So I cut it right up the middle. I also, with the sleeves, they were really long. I cut the cuffs off and I made them 3/4 length sleeve because I love 3/4 length. And I actually took, this is the cuffs that I used on my chief shirt. So I didn't throw that away. I kept it, and then I found a use for it. So I wanted the cuffs on the chief shirt. I just didn't want them on this. And did I do anything else? I'm going to show you how this fits me. I love wearing this now. And several people, I think it's just, every once in a while you just get something that just doesn't fit right. And several people said, yeah, that doesn't quite fit me right. But they all were like, oh, I wish I had thought to do this. So kind of point my camera down a little bit. So this is how it fits, and it's super comfy. Like, I love how it fits. I like how it looks. Here's the back. And it's light enough now where before I felt like it was kind of a heavy t-shirt, heavy sweatshirt, that I was like, I can only wear this like when it's really cold. Now I can wear this just about any time because it just feels, it completely changed how it felt on. So even if you don't have the money or you don't want to invest, you're like, I don't know that I'm going to like sewing or all that stuff. Get in and start upcycling some things. Take a t-shirt out that's too big or too small or whatever, and just try some things with it. We have red racks in my area, and they're ran by you'll also hear me call them DAV, by the Disabled Veterans Association. And they have a $2 rack. And I've started buying a lot of shirts off the $2 rack because it doesn't matter if they're too big or too small. I can upcycle them into something else. So that's really cool. And then my last one is, I can't remember if I've done this on a Thrifty Thursday, but I absolutely love this hoodie. So it's a hoodie. This hoodie was free because you get free stuff when you go to your mom's house and you're cleaning stuff up, and and she can't wear this hoodie anymore. It's big on me, but I wanted it to be big. It had a stain like somewhere around in here, and I was like, well, I'm not going to wear it out with that stain. The stain wasn't really bad, but still, I was like, no. But I'm like, this would be perfect to put a heart on it. And you may not know, but this is Tula Pink fabric, which I absolutely love their fabric. It's so cute. It's just really neat and different. This was left over from another project I did. So this is not inexpensive material. This is from Quilt Shop. Like, this is the bougie stuff, but it was my leftovers. And so I did the quilt as you go method, laid one piece down, laid another one on it, pretty sides together, sewed it, flipped it, sew it, flip it until I just had like something that was big enough. I drew my square out on a piece of paper and just held it up, made sure it was big enough, traced the heart on here. And I did do it with pinking shears, but you don't have to do it with pinking shears. I did quilt this a little bit more. You can kind of see the quilt lines. You don't have to do that. I wanted to do that. And then I just sewed it on here. Easy, easy. Like, this was not hard at all. I was really, really pleased with how this came out. And I mean, if you think these are scraps that I wouldn't have I don't feel like I have a lot of money in them because I made what I was going to make with the original material. I have like $2 in this. At most, I have $10. Even if you want to say, okay, this much, and like, look at these, they're really little. And some of them, I pieced a lot of these together. They were shorter pieces, and I pieced them together to make this work. So, really, really happy with that. And then, I love making little pouches, probably about as much as I like making bags. This is a Dollar Tree placemat. I ran across a Dollar Tree that was desperate to get rid of their seasonal stuff, so she sold me a bunch of stuff for 25 cents. So I have 25 cents in this. Now, even regular price, it's $1.50. So I took it and folded it in half, pretty sides together, um, put a zipper on it, sewed up the sides, flipped it. Yeah. So this is a really easy way to get into making pouches because you've already got something that's pretty. It's already like quilted or whatever, and you just have to do very little sewing to get in and start making really cute pouches. So really love that. I also saved money on this zipper because I bought at Dollar Tree. They have the laundry bags and they come 3 in a pack. So it's like that mesh material and they all have a zipper. I bought one of those and ripped the zippers out. So I have 75 cents in this. And at most you would have you'd have $2. So that's not bad at all. So garage sales, whatever, you could get into making pouches and not have a lot of money in them. The next one that I made, I bought some placemats at a little shop in Hartville that is no longer open. It makes me so sad. But she carried homemade and handmade things. So this was a placemat, and it was a set of 4. So I got 4 of them for $12, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. I mean, that's a lot more than what I have in the other one, but these were really well made. Pretty material. They were quilted nicely. They were bound really nicely. And so I turned this one into a boxy bag and I just used an old ribbon here. And she's not super boxy. She's super cute, but she got mashed. I've had some stuff sitting on her. So there's that. There's also another way. The other one that I made out of the set was if you don't box your corners on a boxy bag, it just lays flat, but your zipper's still down the middle. And that's one that I've already gifted to somebody. But I have maybe $4 in this because this is zipper by the yard, so that's not really expensive. And the ribbon was just leftover ribbon. This is another one that I just did the traditional. Now, this is a fancier zipper, so I have a little bit more money in that, but that was just by choice. Again, old ribbon that I saved. This is just like the other one. You just, wrong sides out. And see, this was already finished out on the edges, so it looks really cute. Now, I didn't do anything with the ends of my zippers. I was just seeing what I could make. I'd had this for a while, and I was like, I really need to see if I can make these. So I could have done a better job, but if somebody gave this to me like this, I wouldn't care. It's a cute zipper pouch. Then the last one I made, I love this one. So you just lay it down differently. Instead of sewing your zipper on the top, you put it here in the front. Super easy. So for $12 and like a couple of bucks maybe in zippers, I had 4 different bags that are really, really cute. And these were also quilted really nicely. So I felt like they were very much worth $3 a piece to buy that set. The last thing I want to show you is something that is not a sewing, like you don't think of sewing when you see it, but it's super useful. And this was not my idea either. I didn't come up with this. Everything that I talk about, I've seen somebody else do. I've watched a video or something, and I'm just sharing it with you. So I don't want to take credit for coming up with these things. So I'm going to show you first. There we go. See how my bobbins are just a mess. See all those loose strings in there? This drives me nuts. I don't like it. So I keep my bobbins and things like this, but I've got string hanging out. Like it's a mess. This is a bobbin, but if you'll notice, now I have a little bit of a string hanging out there, but not much. But it's like you can turn it and stuff, and it's not. And in fact, if I just worked with it, it wouldn't even be sticking out at all. Here's how I've got this to not be so messy. I have put my hand behind that so you can actually see it. So that is what I'm using. It's just a piece of plastic tubing from the hardware store, from Walmart, from Lowe's, from wherever, your garage. Because we didn't have any. I was kind of surprised. I asked my husband, I was like, hey, do we have any tubing that'll do this? And he's like, no, but he went and got some. So for $10, and we have 10 feet of this. So it's $1 a foot. That's about what he said he paid for it. You just buy this tubing and you put it on your bobbins. So I've got all these bobbins, and I'm going to do all of my bobbins like this. They don't have, even if they have a little bit of stuff hanging out, you can just wind it around like that and kind of catch that thread, and they're not messy anymore. Try to get those up where you can actually see them. Yeah, they're not messy. I'm like, oh. And it's so cheap. It's not, I mean, this was $1 a foot, and how many of those things can you get out of a foot? One thing I do want to share, I was making these just tonight. So what I think makes them a little bit easier to make is cut a slit. So go ahead and do the slit first, then cut with not your sewing scissors, because this will tear up your sewing scissors. You know, sewing scissors are toy, don't do that. But you cut this, and then it just slips. I mean, it's already round. It just slips right around there, and it doesn't matter if it's really full or it's like almost empty. It just goes right around your bobbin. And I've even had to trim mine. Like I'll cut them and they'll be a little bit too big, so I just trim them down. But this is so cool. And again, wasn't my idea. I don't want to take credit for it, but I just wanted to share that because I think it's awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed what I've shared with you tonight. I really look forward to Thrifty Thursdays because I like being thrifty. And I hope you guys have a really great week, and I will see you later. Bye.